All right. This is today's haul of actually valuable things. 12 clean slate scrolls, 4 bonus potential scrolls, 4 epic potential scrolls, and 4 innocence scrolls. If we do the math on that, based on the prices that I remember seeing, let me quickly calculate that. That's something like 500 million mesos. So that is pretty good. This is exactly what I expected when I went into this. The last day I did was pretty bad. I actually don't know if I did it yesterday or if I skipped yesterday, but today was a pretty good haul, worth about 500 mil, roughly. If this continues to be this good every day, I'm gonna have to cap out 30 boxes pretty much every day, and that's going to be very difficult because it takes a long time and a lot of investment of time. Oh, and here's another one right now. Pure clean slate and bonus potential. All right, so the actual haul for today is much better. 2 extra clean slates and 2 extra bonus potential scrolls. That's 60 plus 35. Yeah, so that brings us up to about 600 mil, roughly. I mean, it's hard to really estimate because these prices are going to fluctuate for these items a lot over the next couple of months, or not next couple of months. I guess it depends on how big of an impact this event has on that stuff, but it might take a few weeks to sell off all these things, even though they are important upgrade materials. And I think the fact that they are important upgrade materials might actually make them easier to sell and quicker to sell. So that's a really good haul. That brings me up to about 2 billion mesos total already, which is fantastic. So I'm recording this a little late. I'm about to start the fourth day. This is technically the 4th day, because the first day was really bad, second day was really good, third day, let's go over it. I got not that bag. Yesterday, day 3 of the E-Boss farming, I got 2 E-Pot scrolls, 2 innocent scrolls, and 18 clean slate scrolls. I'm not really sure off the top of my head the rough value of that, but that puts us at these totals so far. Plus, let me see where storage is. Today, when I was on my Nightwalker doing weekly bosses, I got my hands on 2 more bonus potential scrolls, putting me up to a grand total of 8. So this is the haul so far. Golden hammers don't exist anymore from drops. I don't know where you get them, actually. 42 pure clean slate scrolls, 6 innocent scrolls, 6 epic potential scrolls, and 8 bonus potential scrolls. So I will get back to you guys hopefully tonight. Last night I was really tired, which is why I'm recording this clip now for day 3. But I'll get back to you guys as soon as possible once I'm done with day 4. And hopefully I have at least more good news. Also, really quick, wanted to mention that I think this week, considering it's already Wednesday, I think this week I'm just going to have to take a break from grinding on my Paladin, which does suck. It's going to eat into the amount of time that it takes to get to 250 or 249. But considering the rates and everything, and this event that has the EXP festival ticket thing, what is it called? This thing. Considering that this is currently the event that we have going on, I actually think it's going to be very easy to get to 249. So I'm not really worried about it. It kind of sucks that I'm spending so much time with these E-bosses, but ultimately it's really proving to be worth the effort. I mean, this is a good bit of money, and it will definitely help in paying for the future boss mules. I just don't know how long I'm going to have to do this to get before I'm like satisfied, because honestly, if I had it my way, I would just be doing this all day, every day until this event ends. But I've already committed to other things, such as leveling my Paladin and then my Blaster, so it makes it kind of difficult. But the good news is, this is actually only taking a few hours of my day every day, so I'll figure out a balance at some point, and we'll go from there. Quick update before I get off for the night and continue working on this episode. We are sitting at 690 juniper berry seed oils. These are used for WAPs and EEPs. And we are at 598 hyssop flower oils. These are used for boss potions. These boss potions, these ones. And I guess these ones as well. They're very valuable, so there you go. The 2 important ones, that's the update for those 2 important ones. It is time for the daily update of e-boss hunting. Today was not a great day. I got 2 epic potential scrolls, 2 innocent scrolls, and 8 pure clean slate scrolls, putting our total at this amount right here. As you can see, I've been collecting occult cubes as well. I might as well just put those there because that's also something that I'm getting from these bosses, as well as chaos scrolls. Unfortunately, neither of these 2 items are very valuable. I think it takes like 100 chaos scrolls to equal like 1 clean slate scroll, so that's not great. I wanted to quickly mention, because I don't think I've mentioned this yet, I just got the idea to actually put the total estimated value of these items on the screen so you can see what they are. But I want to make it clear that those prices are based off of... I need to see what the rate is right now. It's still super low, holy shit. I just realized I got distracted by that clip that I was recording when I was doing the Mesa Market thing. What I was going to say was, these prices that you're seeing on screen, the total value of the items I've collected so far, is based off of the average price of these items recently and based off of my knowledge of these items, because I haven't really checked the auction house as of recording this right now. I guess I could just go check real quick, but I'm pretty sure that these items have dropped in value because they are twice as abundant as they were before. Actually, not really. They haven't dropped that much at all. So that's good. I guess I'll just try to base them off of a reasonable average value based off of what I think they're worth and how much they have sold for recently. So don't worry too much. The estimate is just an estimate. It's not going to be extremely accurate regardless. I just wanted to make that clear so that we have a decent understanding of where we're at with this e-boss farming thing, just to see if it's even worth my time. And so far, I think it is. I really do think it is. I was also thinking a little bit more about how I want to raise these characters. I was on my Nightwalker today and realized that I can clear everything up to Von Leon easily. Actually, a pretty easy clear, even with 12k stat. So what I was thinking was maybe just gearing up this Nightwalker to do Lomian as well, which in all honesty would probably not even take more than like 16 or 17k stat. I am not 100% sure on that. I really still at this point don't know exactly what the plan is. It is still an early idea, and mostly right now I am just taking this opportunity with this event to gather materials. I'm really not thinking too hard about the Bera boss mules yet. That's why this is just a small detour and not what we're focusing on right now. Anyway, I'll see you guys in a little bit, after I go kill this e-boss, obviously. Another day, another set of rewards from the elite bosses. Today was not an amazing haul, but 12 pure clean slate scrolls, 2 bonus potential scrolls, and 2 epic potential scrolls. I don't know why these didn't stack. That's odd, but okay. So here we are with our total yet again. Like I said, today was a slow day, hoping for a better day tomorrow. Whatever. In just a couple days, on Sunday, we're having a 5, 10, 15 event, and we'll have access to the No Boom Room from the Festival Night Troop event. I currently have saved 17.7, basically 18 billion mesos. And I plan on using those mesos to upgrade a few things on all 3 of my main characters right now. The first thing that comes to mind is getting this black bean mark to 17 stars. That is definitely going to happen. I was gonna go over all of this just myself, but I figured this is mildly interesting, might as well put it in the video. I'm also going to take the opportunity to finally get the Dominator pendant up to 16 stars. The plan originally was to just 16 star this without safeguarding, so that if it boomed, and I could just only have one to worry about. But considering I have two, I'll probably just get one of them to 16 stars, and I guess I'll get the other one to 17 stars, which would be this one, because this is my drop gear. Actually, not 100% on that, but definitely the Sweetwater tattoo that I bought. I don't think I actually ever went over buying this. I bought this, I flamed it, and got an okay flame. I don't remember if I went over that. 32 strength and 4 attack power is pretty good. It would be nice if it had percent stat, but you know, it's a Sweetwater item. What are you gonna do? So definitely Black Bean Mark, definitely Sweetwater tattoo, CRA helmet, top and bottom, and Abso shoes. Those are all for sure what I'm going to upgrade. The next thing I want to work on is getting these alien fragment earrings to 17 stars. I'm thinking, okay, now that I'm looking and realize that I have these alien fragment necklaces, I think what I'll actually do is just get one Dominator pendant to 16 stars, this one, because I guess it's the one I'm flaming. I don't know, it's kind of arbitrary and doesn't really matter which one gets to 16 stars. It really doesn't matter. But considering I have this alien fragment necklace, I am going to turn one of these into drop gear as well. So I'm going to also 17 star this. I don't know what we're looking at price-wise. I don't know what the average cost is. You know, I could check. Let me go check the average cost of this real quick so that I have the accurate information. All right. Well, I don't know if this simulator is inaccurate or if this is actually the result. It could honestly be that these are so high level that the cost is just really high, but I was getting anywhere from 1 to 1.5 bill to 17 star one alien fragment necklace. And unfortunately, there is no fodder level 170 pendant I can use, so that might be a very expensive endeavor. However, as far as items go on this character, that's kind of it. So let's hop on to the next character and take a look at what I need to upgrade. Checking out the Mihail's gear, we have probably quite a bit to undertake here. So we want 17 star Royal Warrior helmet, absolutely. Dominator pendant, already 17 stars. Sweetwater pendant, want to go ahead and get this to 17 stars as well. 17 stars Sweetwater's tattoo. Sweetwater monocle could be 17 star as well. CRA top is already 17. We need to get this to 17. I think what's really important is the glove, shoes, reinforced. Sorry, I'm just kind of thinking out loud now. So I have a lot of things at 17 stars already. So this is one item. And then only 1 star on this. I'll just safeguard because it won't probably take that long, hopefully. This also 17 stars for the extra attack, so that's 2 items. Sweetwater monocle, Sweetwater tattoo, want both of these. The thing is, I am currently trying to roll for a good flame on my Papulatus mark, of which I have 3, by the way. So I don't actually know that star forcing this is going to be the best idea. I think I'll hold off on the Sweetwater monocle until I take the time to get a better flame on my Papulatus mark. So Sweetwater tattoo, definitely though. I don't plan on transposing anything from here. And as you can see, this is actually a better-ish flame. I think this is better. I believe this is a better flame than what I have on my Paladin, though it's not better by a lot. So for this character, we're looking at helmet, 17 stars, Sweetwater pendant, Sweetwater tattoo, CRA bottom, Abso shoes, and Abso gloves. Outside of that, that's pretty much it. I am using reinforced gear on this character because I rolled 3-line strength on the earrings. That might change in the future, so I'm not going to bother with the reinforced gear currently. And now we'll move on to my Hayato. Alright, now checking out the Hayato's gear. I know this character is in a pretty good spot, so I don't really see a whole lot to upgrade here. Katana, need to get that last star on the katana, and I might take the opportunity to throw some cubes at this thing just to get it a better potential, because while what it has now is not that bad, it could be much better. Looking at the rings, there's not a whole lot to do. Get another star on Kana's treasure. CRA stuff I know is 17. I know all of my Abso stuff is 17. So this is actually pretty straightforward. I think I'll 16 star this Dominator pendant. I won't 17 star it just so I can get it prepared for transposing in the future. So that will mean Black Bean Mark, Dominator pendant, Kana's treasure, and Absolab Katana. So that's really it. That's not a lot of things. That's like less than 10, 15 things that I need to upgrade. The Deacidus earrings, these are really good earrings, actually, to be 12% strength at Epic with a really good flame. But I don't really want to spend a whole lot of money on these because I kind of, first of all, don't need to. Second of all, these will be replaced with Golix stuff in the future. I still just haven't gotten around to running Golix on this character. Even though, now that I think about it, I really do think Golix would be very easy on a Hayato because of their insanely good horizontal mobility, so it's just me being lazy, let's be honest. So that's the plan for those 3 characters. I estimate everything that I just listed will probably take up most of the mesos that I have right now, but regardless, I do want to take a look at the blaster and see what stuff I have to potentially upgrade during this event if I have mesos left over. I've mentioned before that I wanted to kind of clean up my other boss mules and make them a little better. So this is that opportunity, basically. And that's the priority. So if I don't have extra stuff left over, well, that's really all there is to it. So this character, as far as superior gear goes, I'm actually in a really good spot. I guess I must have bought a superior... I'm going to sell these crystals. I don't know why I haven't sold them. I must have bought the superior ring at some point. I don't remember when. Probably before the revamp, maybe? I don't know. But I need the earrings, which I'm going to have to... No, pendant I have to buy. I have to buy the superior pendant. Earrings I can get as a drop whenever I start clearing hard Golix, or Helix rather. So one of the issues with this character is I simply don't have a lot of good gear. I already have a Sweetwater Monocle, which is okay, but I'll probably want to replace that. Honestly, I might want to use the Sweetwater Monocle for drop gear and get myself a Black Bean Mark at some point, if I can get lucky enough with the drop. But we're definitely going to need a 17 star this Kana's treasure. Probably going to 17 star the superior Golix ring as well, especially because I already have it, so might as well. 17 star superior belt, 17 star CRA, and 17 star Fafnir, because I will be transferring this Fafnir over to Absolab in the future. So it is worth 17 starring, even though I know I will tier down the potential, it is still worth 17 starring. So that is that. Like I said, there's really not a whole lot of other useful stuff on this character. The fact that I already have 2 superiors is really nice though. So that's what I'm going to be leaning into a little bit with this. I guess that's really all there is to mention as far as this goes. Like I said, I'm not sure I'm going to have enough mesos for all of this. This stuff gets pretty expensive, and especially if I have bad RNG, which seems likely, I probably will run out of mesos before I get to the blaster. But with all that being said, there are a couple more things that I want to mention that aren't super important. So on this character specifically, I actually want to get my hands on a pair of alien fragment earrings and an alien fragment necklace. I want to get both of those. Those 2 items are really good drop gear. And since they're becoming legacy items, I kind of want to get at least one on every single one of the characters that I'll ever play in the future. I'm currently in the process of kind of going through all those characters and getting this stuff on them. I know my Buccaneer has a ton. Definitely already has earrings and pendant, so not worried about that. Paladin definitely has them. Mihail I need to get them on Mihail, Hayato, Blaster, Ilium, probably, Bishop, probably, Kaiser. And that should be it, actually. That's kind of it. There are no others that I can think of. I guess my Blade Master at some point when the time comes. I think the issue with the Blade Master thing is by the time the Blade Master gets to 200 and I actually start playing it, it will have been removed. Alien PQ will have already been removed at that point, so I should probably get that character to 200 sooner than later. But that's pretty much it. I don't have much else to talk about. I just figured I would share that little journey of looking through my gear and seeing roughly what I have to upgrade. Because I was going to do it on my own, figured it'd be more interesting to share it. Hello, everybody. It is currently noon-ish? No, not quite. Almost there. We've almost made it to noon. I am just about to start my day hunting E-bosses in Bera, but for now, I still have to cap and get the rest of my suspicious herb pouches from Kurama. So I actually really need to go take care of that right now because I do have stuff I got to do today. I don't know that I'll necessarily be busy, but I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of stuff. Anyway, there is one thing that I wanted to talk about real quick. And this is something that I was thinking about last night. I was talking to Cynthia about MapleStory stuff, and I was thinking long-term about what I want to do as far as the main character goes. And I know this is a topic that I've discussed many times. But the topic came up of how I feel about Paladin versus like something like Mihail. When I was playing when I was playing my Mihail yesterday in Bera, I was doing weekly bosses. I just kind of felt like it wasn't really exciting. I do have a big problem with Mihail because they inherently have 3 different skills that you have to use to burst. 3 skills, one being their link skill, one being a hyper, and the other one being a hyper as well. So there are 3 skills that you have pre-5th job that are used for burst, and that's not even counting all the other ones that you get in 5th job. This is, if I'm being honest, it is kind of mostly a skill issue, but it is an objective fact that having to use a bunch of skills to burst is an inconvenience and is unnecessary. And that's kind of been an issue that I have with Mihail that I've had for a couple weeks at this point. There's also the fact that, while I didn't talk about this in any video yet because I was waiting for Ignition, I can sort of go into it a little bit here. Mihail's being changed from a class that has 2 skills. As you can see here, my Paladin has this one, Divine Charge. That's my mobbing skill. And then I have Blast, which is my bossing skill. That's pretty standard for most classes. If you look at Dark Knight, same thing. If you look at Demon Avenger, same thing. Demon Slayer, Angelic Buster, any class that I've ever mentioned playing probably has a bossing / mobbing skill, or they have some sort of mechanic that makes them more engaging to play, such as Blaster, Cadena. Even Ilium, I would say, is more engaging despite not technically having a mobbing and bossing skill separately. So Mihail is being turned into what is effectively Hero with Royal Guard, and I don't like that. I never liked that. Everything else that they're getting is awesome, but that's always bothered me. Again, I really don't know if I'll enjoy that or not. It might just be that I don't like it. I was talking to somebody in Discord about it, and they were actually pretty helpful in validating that, because the reality is it's not necessarily objectively worse. I mean, I guess you could probably make an argument that it is better to be a 1-button class. I'm sure there's plenty of valid reasons for that, but it is my preference to not play classes that are 1-button classes because I don't find them fun. I find them very boring. So that has been the biggest issue I've run into with Mihail. For a while, I had a problem with Install Shield, their new summon, But after grinding on a Mihail for a little while recently, when I was capping coins in Bera, I came to the realization that if Install Shield is actually good enough, Mihails might be able to grind by just spamming Royal Guard and standing in one spot, if the map is small enough. So, I'm sure their mobbing is not going to be a huge problem anymore. So I'm not really concerned about that. The last thing that I have to get over is them being a one-button class, and again, we'll see how I feel about that when the time comes. I'm not making any decisions quite yet. A few episodes ago, I mentioned maybe not maining Paladin. In the case that I decide I don't want to keep playing Paladin moving forward, which is not a 0% chance. I want to go ahead and say that. It's not a 0% chance that that'll happen, but it's very unlikely. I can see myself playing Paladin pretty much forever. The way I view Paladin is pretty straightforward. It is a very simple class with good mobbing, good bossing, and it's probably the easiest class in the game because you have passive 20+% damage reduction from all damage sources. It's probably the easiest class in the game. I think one thing that I've realized playing my Paladin the past couple months is that Paladin sort of leans more into the DPS side of support, and not as much support as you would think. My heal is just for me. My res is a useless skill nowadays. The only thing it does, I mean, I guess it would be more valuable in reg servers where battle roids cost $400 and buff freezers cost 20 cents each. So, I mean, I guess it would be more valuable there. But in Reboot, it's absolutely useless. There's very little point in having that skill. The only useful support that I have is Sacro, and you know, don't get it twisted. That's a very good support skill to have. Problem is, like, in Ignition, Mihail is getting a 10% party shield that applies to everyone. I don't know if it applies to the Mihail themselves, but they're getting a 10% HP shield that applies to every party member every time they Royal Guard. And that, I would argue, is way better than just having 30 seconds of invincibility every 6 minutes. I don't know. So, I think in my experience, I have found that Paladin leans more into the damage side of things, is a more DPS-focused hybrid support DPS class, and Mihail is more of a support-focused DPS support class. That's neither bad nor good. I guess that's just kind of an observation. But that is actually a problem that I've run into personally, because I do like being more of a support character than a damage dealer. And if I'm going to be playing a damage dealer, I'd rather play somebody who can do more damage. I don't know, Paladin's not exactly weak, but I haven't found them to be extraordinarily strong either. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, Paladin is a very simple choice. There is no issue with choosing this class. There's no issue with me playing this class. Like I said, I could see myself playing this class for a long time, and there's probably a decent chance that'll happen. But over the next few months, while we work through the blaster and then the dual blade, and then eventually go back around to get some of the other boss mules up a little bit, I am going to be thinking a lot about what I want to do in the future. And I have a couple ideas, things I won't really go into here because, you know, my mind changes all the time. I will say, though, that in the past 6 months, I've only seriously considered maining 2 characters, which is a pretty good record for me. I think I'm getting better at this whole picking a class thing. It's taking years and years, and to be honest, if Ignition hadn't changed my class to a one-button class, we probably wouldn't even be having this discussion at all. It would just be Mihail all the way. No second thoughts. But unfortunately, I have to be open to the possibility that I'll no longer enjoy Mihail and have to play something else. And that something else so far has been Paladin, and this has been great. Like I said, I have no problems with this. But when I was talking to Cynthia last night about the game and progression and stuff, the topic of choosing a main has came up a couple times, and I thought about some of the other classes that I've always wanted to play and never really gave a shot. So over the next few months, I'll be trying out some of those classes a little more. I'll be getting some important gear on them, because the first thing, and really the only thing that comes to mind, is Alien PQ, because they're taking that away. and the alien fragment earrings and alien fragment necklace are both very good pieces of drop gear. For quite a while, I think they even rival... I don't know that they rival another set of superior gear, which I guess would be the best in slot drop gear, but they're still very good. And honestly, it's probably better to use those instead of wasting a bunch of time and Golix coins on a piece of superior gear that you're just going to turn into Meso stuff. So, I'll be going over a lot of characters. I think I'll probably include that information in the video so that you guys can follow my sort of thought process. In the videos, I'll include clips of that in future videos because I do think it is kind of interesting. But there really is... One of the biggest things that I've always been insecure about with my account would be the lack of progress that I've made. I feel like I should have done more considering the amount of time that I've been playing. But it's pretty obvious once you consider how often I switch characters that actually, I think I'm probably at a pretty good spot, all things considered. So, the first character I'm looking at right now is Kaiser. Kaiser is a very interesting class to me because the reason I stopped playing it was due to just kind of weird personal reasons and some things I was going through at the time. I'm a human. I have emotions. You know, I'm not infallible. Sometimes I can choose to not play a class because of dumb bullshit emotions, right? That's happened before. But the reality is, emotions are temporary. Kaiser is forever. And I've never really put a lot of time into Kaiser. I got mine to 213, and that was about it. But last night, when I was talking to Cynthia, I mentioned Kaiser, and I was like, yeah, well, I stopped playing Kaiser because I didn't really like their mobbing capabilities, blah, blah, blah. But then I got on my Kaiser and started grinding a little bit just to see, because sometimes I go back and remind myself, do I like this class or not? And for some reason, this time when I played it, I really kind of liked it a lot. The other thing is, I also really like Kaiser's theming a lot. Like, a lot. The theme of being like a dragon sword user is fucking cool as hell. Like, it's really cool. They're the only class in the game that can use a two-handed sword with one hand. I think that's badass. They have a teleport. They're just awesome. And they're a class that I could probably play. I could probably get into. So that's kind of the class I'm looking at right now. I'm doing a few like housekeeping things on it to get it. The alien fragment stuff, some other things that are kind of important, and we'll see how I feel about it in like a few weeks. The other class I want to try out after that would be Kinesis. Kinesis, historically, my experience with Kinesis has been pretty straightforward. I really like the class. Pretty much everything about it is awesome. However, managing the PP meter was very difficult. And again, I think that comes back around to being a skill issue. So perhaps that's just something I need to get good at. Outside of that, I don't have any other classes on the horizon that I'm considering maining. But I would like to share one last thought with you guys before I head off to do my stuff for the day. So, none of this is happening anytime soon. I want to make that clear. This whole thinking about future main is not going to be something that's impactful for a while. We still have a lot of stuff to get through. I have to get this character to 250, and then I have to do the blaster to 235, and then I have to do the dual blade stuff, and then ignition comes around, and I probably want to do stuff in Bera to get my boss mules up so I can start bringing in some free maple points every week. So there's still a lot that I need to do. The other thing is, the more time I spend on these other characters, the easier it'll become for me to sort of narrow down what classes I want to play. And more or less getting classes that I don't really enjoy off the list. I think I should make it clear that the distinction between whether I want to main a class versus just turning it into a boss mule is pretty clear in my mind, but I don't know if I've ever communicated that information to you guys. Throughout this series, the only classes I've ever considered maining seriously for any amount of time would be Hayato. That changed very quickly. By the time I was 5th job, I decided I didn't want to main it. Then Ilium. Ilium, of course, a class I could still main, honestly. I don't really have any reason not to. It's still kind of on the radar. And Paladin. And that's it. Everything else I've mentioned has only been for boss mule purposes. And I either decided that I wanted to try maining them and very quickly gave up on that idea, or they were for boss fuel, or they were for boss mule purposes from the beginning. I'm thinking something like Angelic Buster, Wind Archer, Demon Avenger, anything else that I've mentioned. Kaiser, I'm not viewing as a boss mule. I'm viewing that as a potential future main in like 6 months when that time comes around. Same for Kinesis. Again, I need to play those classes a little bit and figure out where I stand on them. But that is, I figured I would just make that clear. So, the next thing on my mind. One last thing to share with you guys before I head out to do stuff for the day. Oh, I want to talk about diminishing returns with boss mules. Not raising a boss mule and putting in more mesos and time than I would get back from boss crystals. I'm talking about the number of boss mules. This is again something else that I was talking about with Cynthia last night. At a certain point, it kind of starts to become more effort than it's worth, especially if you have a character who can farm an okay amount of mesos per hour. Like, I'm thinking my Paladin can farm almost 500 mil an hour, and that's pretty decent. That's not bad. So at a certain point, it stops really being worthwhile to make boss mules. The problem is I don't know when that point will be. And then especially if I switch classes in the future, then, you know, I'm going to have to remake all my meso and drop gear. And then having boss mules will be more valuable at that point. But I'm just thinking about how if I were to switch classes, I would effectively have 5 boss mules, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I would have 5 boss mules and then a main character. So I'm not really sure if that point will ever be reached for me or what I want to do, but I just kind of wanted to throw that idea out there that maybe making a ton of boss mules isn't the best idea. Maybe it's better to spend some time on your main character as well. I don't have solid, concrete thoughts on this topic quite yet, but it is something that I was considering, because 5 boss mules who can clear Lomian is kind of a lot. Maybe it's a lot. I really don't know. But I just wanted to share that idea and maybe get some feedback on it, some thoughts on it, see where other people land on that topic. Looks like I've managed to cap coins while talking. That's pretty good. So I need to wait for Kurama, then I'll do Punch King, and then it's off to Bera to start farming E-bosses. So this week, I actually, well, not the whole week, but for the next, like, 5 or so days, I will be doing a lot of totems for a couple reasons. One, I have a lot of time over the next few days. The second is that I'm getting bonus EXP, 12.5% more. And today, I just got Senior Designer rank. And this is good for a couple reasons. The primary reason that Senior specifically is so important is because it gives me access to 150% bonus EXP and 160% bonus EXP when the little whatever activates, which is basically to say I'm getting a lot of bonus EXP. On top of those 2 skills, I'm also getting 10% bonus EXP from monsters from the food stand, and 100% bonus rune EXP from the experience zone. So there's a lot of EXP bonuses being thrown around right now, up until about 5 days from now, actually. I just want to grind as much as I can over these next 5 days to really make use of these EXP buffs. I firmly believe that since I'm getting about 50% experience, almost, maybe closer to 45% per totem, I should be able to get 1 level per day very easily. So I'm thinking if I really push and try hard, do maybe 3 totems a day, I can get to 249 within the next week. And that would be awesome because it would allow me to start working on my blaster. That is going to be my goal for this week, basically. I don't have a whole lot more to talk about with this character. I am about to go do another totem, but before I do that, I want to check in with Bera real quick. Yesterday's haul was not very good. 4 pure clean slate scrolls, 4 innocents, 2 epots. Not great. But we'll add that to the list, and we'll have the total amount on the screen on the left side, and you can check out where we're at. I was thinking about this a little more, and while this is good, it really does require a lot of time. I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing the past few days, which is during the day, I just kind of leave the game open and observe it in case I see that coveted yellow text appear on the top. Then I just go kill the E-boss. And then after reset, I go to Reboot and do Reboot stuff. So I'm just going to keep doing that for, I don't know, a week or 2, maybe longer, I'm not sure. But I have decided that I really don't want to bother going beyond 5 billion mesos total for a couple reasons. First of all, people are starting to catch on to this. I'm starting to see more and more people going to every E-boss that I see, whereas before I would usually see 1, maybe 2 people. Nowadays, I'm seeing 3 people, maybe even more sometimes at E-bosses. During the day, though, during weekdays, you actually see a lot less. Unfortunately, the weekend is coming up soon, so that'll either be good or bad. I'm really not sure. It's a little complicated because the best case scenario for hunting an E-boss is to do over 50, or not necessarily over 50%, but the best case for hunting an E-boss is to do the most damage out of everyone who damaged it. Because if you do the most damage, you get 2 treasure chests. Or if you spawn the E-boss yourself in a map, you get 2 treasure chests as well. If you just hit the E-boss and just contribute damage, but don't do the most and also didn't summon it, you only get 1 treasure chest. So my goal, it has always been, while I've been doing this the past few days, has been to just pop all of my burst and use Light Force Ray to instantly do a ton of damage. I can usually one-shot any E-boss in any area I can go to. This is starting to become a problem because stronger players than me are now starting to pick up on this, and there are people who are out-damaging me pretty consistently when hunting E-bosses, so that is halving the rate at which I get boxes, which is very inconvenient because getting these rare treasure chests is already very time-consuming. I don't think it'll be a huge problem, really. It'll probably be fine. I'm not that worried about it, but it is something worth keeping in mind because if there are more people doing this, the amount of money I'm going to be able to make per day is going to be a lot lower. I mean, I'm lucky. I'm lucky that I even have the, what am I? I'm close to 2 billion mesos that I've gained now from doing this. I'm lucky to even have that, to be honest with you. So, we'll just see how things go. I'll keep doing my strategy and we'll see how things progress over the next few days. If it starts to become a problem, then, you know, we can talk about it more and maybe I'll just stop at a certain point, honestly, because after a certain point, it's not really worth the hassle. But I figured I would mention that. Anyway, I'm off to go do a totem on my Paladin. Gotta work my way up to level 249. Oh, shit. And that is level 243. Only 6 to go. Alright, we are at the 1 hour mark. This is the first full hour I've been able to actually track. I have 14,000 monsters killed, which is pretty good. Could have easily reached 14k if I had just not stopped for the past 10 seconds. 94 billion experience per hour is very, very close to 25% an hour. And 464 million mesos per hour is pretty good. I can probably get past 500 mil if I were to go to Celis or something, but, or Moonbridge, which I should actually, no, Moonbridge is, no, I already have Celis unlocked, right, Moonbridge is 245. But I wanted to give an update on this because these are pretty good rates, and the EXP particularly is incredibly good. This is so much more EXP than I was getting without these event buffs, so that is amazing. And these will help the grind to 249 quite a bit. Anyway, I still got another hour to go, so let me go take care of that. Finally, let's go, dude! That took forever, but I finally got a good, familiar 30% IED. Thank you! That second line sucks, but I mean, a debuff's a debuff, right? I can't hurt. It's just kind of cringe to be debuffing things. Oh my god. I don't know how many familiars that was. That was probably over 20 before I got one good line. I got the Burninator from the Night Troop event, and I didn't really know who to use it on, but when looking through my link skills and the characters that I have yet to make, I actually don't have a Kinesis in Reboot, so I figured I would take the opportunity to optimize my link skills a little bit and get the 4% crit damage. So that's what I'm gonna do. This probably won't take very long. Just got to actually do it. I will probably be back in like an hour and it'll be done. All right, took closer to an hour and a half and I kind of gave up early. I'll just get the last 12 or so levels by doing Zachem every day. Bored of playing this class, and this was just supposed to be a quick thing anyway. Back to the Paladin. All right, so a couple clips ago, I showed you fine people 94 billion experience per hour, and I led you astray. This hour, with MVP and the 50% EXP buff, people in my circle are just calling it Flurcy 2. The Flurcy 2 event has given me so much bonus EXP. We are like well beyond 50% per totem. This is actually not what I calculated, because for the last 30 minutes of this hour, I did not have an MVP. I was calculating up to 130 billion experience per hour, which is well over 50%, kind of closer to 60% per totem, which is nearing double what I was getting before all of these buffs. And that's insane. So, if I'm getting 130 billion experience per hour right now, let me calculate how long it'll take to get to 249, because I'm pretty sure the number will be kind of shocking. So I did some very rough, quick calculations, and it looks like we're looking at 23 hours of grinding to get from the beginning of level 243 all the way to 249, so it's probably actually a little closer to 20 hours of grinding. That is insanely good. That is way better than what I was doing before. So, I think within the next few days, I will definitely get to 249. I will do one, maybe two more totems tonight, depending on how I feel. probably try to shoot for 2 if I can, you know, why not? Actually, I missed out on a few suspicious herb pouches too because I was too busy grinding. That's okay. So that's pretty amazing. This event, honestly, probably couldn't have come at a better time. I am amazed at how much experience I'm able to get. 130 bill is by far the most experience I've ever gotten when grinding on any character in any server, Frenzy or not, honestly. So this is awesome. I just wanted to make this update because it is kind of important because the EXP rate's so much higher now. The Meso rates are the same, not really worried about the Meso rates, but I do need to go do weekly bosses on a few of my characters, and then I will be back in a little bit to do a bunch of star forcing.